Well, hello everybody. Now, if you'll recall the video we just did at Dodge City Steakhouse in Lenore, North Carolina, I ended that video telling you to stay tuned for more from Dodge City. And here we are, folks. We are in Dodge City. Not the one in Lenore, North Carolina, not the steakhouse. This is the real Dodge City, Kansas. Yes, we are in what used to be called the wickedest little city in America. Dodge City in its heyday was known as a cow town with a lot of gunfighters, a lot of saloons, a lot of disorderly behavior. This was once called the wickedest little city in the country. So we are here in Dodge City, Kansas, and we're going to take you on a tour of the town. We're going to take you to Boot Hill Cemetery. We're going to take you to see Front Street, a remake of Front Street. This is where the Western Gunsmoke was supposed to be set. Now, obviously, if you look at the landscape on Gunsmoke and the landscape right here, it was not set here, but that was supposed to be the setting for Gunsmoke and Marshall Dillon. We're going to take you to all of that here in just a little bit. So go with us through Dodge City, Kansas. Over here is one of the many cattle stockyards that are found in and around Dodge City. Dodge City is a major producer of beef, and you can see the cattle out there by the hundreds, maybe even the thousands. We are right downtown Dodge City. This is more the modern Dodge City. I did want to get a little bit of a clip of this Longhorn here. This is El Capitan. He looked like he would put a hurting on you if you crossed him. If you like to read, this video should be very pleasing to you. But there is a lot of history here, so I do want to provide that. So you can either pause it or fast forward it. Here in front of the Visitor Information Center, we have a statue of Marshall Dillon himself, played by James Arness. And that's a very, very good likeness of him right there. So how many Gunsmoke fans do we have out there? My favorite episode of Gunsmoke is the one where it's called Hard Labor. The one where he gets arrested for murder, Marshall Dillon does, by a crooked judge, and they put him to work in an underground mine. Most of the guys in that mine never see the light of day again. But of course, the show must go on, so Marshall Dillon gets out. this is the final statue I wanted to show you. This is John Henry, better known as Doc Holliday. Now, he wasn't from the West. He was actually born just south of Atlanta in Griffin, Georgia. And he came out west, became a gambler. He famously suffered from tuberculosis and died. I want to say he died before he reached 40 years old. But he was pretty fast with a gun. Right here, we're getting ready to go in the gift shop over here in the Boot Hill Museum. And behind the Boot Hill Museum is Front Street. You can see a few of the replicated buildings of the Old West right through there. We're going to be showing you that after supper. We're now going to tour Front Street, which is a replica of the old western town of Dodge City. Now, since we were here last, they have built this brand new museum. If you look down and see that lighter color tan building at the end, that used to be the gift shop and where you paid your admission to go through there. But they've built this museum since then, so we're gonna go in here and check that out. Before we do, yeah, I'll walk down a little bit more and get a better view of that. I want to show y'all that old locomotive. I'd like to know what that stands for, AT and SF. I'm guessing
Santa Fe.
Or San Francisco. I'm not sure which. You know what, I bet I could walk over there and read the sign. It might tell me. Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. Okay. Ain't no wonder that thing derailed.
Because I was driving?
Because you was driving. Let's walk up in here and look at that. Comfortable looking seats.
Yeah. Can you imagine how hot that thing would be?
Oh man. Yeah, that would be rough, especially on a day like today.
Can't imagine. And all these little knobs and things.
And you're going to demonstrate right now for us what each one does.
Oh, it'd be too complicated for people to understand.
Yeah, how are people ever going to learn anything to tell them?
Not enough. I bet you this is the brake though.
Yeah.
And that would be how you open up to shovel more coal in, maybe.
There's sarsaparilla. Must have wristband beyond this point. Do we need to go show them?
No, they said we could just come and go.
Okay, we bought our tickets before we went and eat. We came back, so yeah, we'll skip the evolution. So here are your various Indian tribes. The Comanches were like from central Texas. Interesting that the Wichita tribe was from southeastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas and not Kansas. Well, Wichita that actually is. If you were married to a chief, that's what you had to wear. If I was chief, that's what you'd be wearing. I don't know.
I look pretty snazzy in it.
You would. You sure would. I might have to become chief just for that reason. Alright, so we got a teepee here. teepee etiquette.
This is interesting. Did you know countless Indian words are now part of the English language, including barbecue, cannibal, chipmunk, chocolate, hammock, hurricane, mahogany, possum, potato, skunk, and woodchuck.
Chocolate and barbecue.
Those were two that stood out to me too.
No, I did not know that. So here's an old stagecoach. There's the Santa Fe Trail that we were at earlier.
Oh wow, is that how big they really were?
Yeah.
I didn't picture it to be that big. Look at
I think
those
it would
wheels.
take a team to pull those. That wouldn't be just like one.
I guess Little House on the Prairie, theirs don't look that big.
Well, they took the whole family.
I know, but when
They
they
had
changed-
supplies in it.
Well, even on Gunsmoke, when they're changing those wheels, they weren't like that. Or was it Bonanza? I don't remember which one I watched. Something sounds nice.
Those wheels are actually only about 2 inches shorter than I am. Yeah, maybe about the same height actually. Am I taller?
Looks like maybe about the same.
Well, there's where they would put their supplies right there in the back of the wagon, so when they stopped, they could get right there to them. You've heard of the OK Corral, but I bet you haven't heard of the OK Clothing Store.
The great American buffalo once roamed the prairie in unimaginable numbers.
What we got here?
Buffalo coat.
I bet that would kind of maybe keep you warm.
I bet it would.
Was discarded. In the year 1800,
Make gloves and a hat out of it
30
too.
million buffalo roamed the plains of established frontier towns like Dodge City and began hunting the buffalo with reckless abandon. Harvesting the tons, shipping exotic fur back east, and leaving the carcasses to rot. By the end of the 19th century, the great buffalo dwindled near extinction, with as few as 1,000 across all of North America. This devastated Indian communities by removing their primary source of sustenance.
Stampede. You can feel the ground shaking underneath. You feel that? Stand right here. The ground shakes.
Oh wow.
It's like if there was a stampede.
Oh, that's
Cool. Did you hit it?
Today,
here.
efforts to reintroduce the buffalo have grown
Pick up the
numbers
poop.
to nearly
You
half
might think it's smelling gross, but it says that there's information underneath the poop here.
Folks, if you want some information, pick up the buffalo patty. So what's the fun fact?
2 or 3 gallons a day, that's a lot.
You know, I was wondering about that.
And then this one here is used to treat sunburn or hiccups. I don't know about hiccups. Let's see. And they just ground up
I mean, what did you have to do? Mix it in water.
baby powder. Baby smelled nice and fresh.
Well, I can't get over this one here. Now, folks, if you've ever been wondering about that, wonder no more. I'm curious about the hiccups thing.
Yeah, what would you do? Sniff it or ingest it?
Whatever works, I guess.
on the prairie in unimaginable numbers.
Hey, Chauncey, you need to learn a few of these. Where's the one that's for you? Don't snore.
Yeah, it's really neat. Don't you? I did that in the airport yesterday.
Yes, you did. You sure did. Right there waiting on her plane, she leans her head right over my shoulder and goes to sleep. But I didn't mind.
Nothing was discovered.
The oil grease your hair, dirt and dust, or dust and dirt will stick to it. That's
With
nasty.
30 million buffalo roaming the plains of North America, it must have seemed as though these
Well, which one were you gonna tell me
I'm
about
trying to
me?
find it now. Let's see.
However,
Oh, yeah, that. Don't spit chewing tobacco into the wind. Spit with the wind. She's got this nasty habit we've never told y'all about.
If you believe that.
No. Bet you ain't never even had tobacco.
leaving their carcasses.
No lie, my grandmother chewed Red Man her whole life. What we got here?
Yeah, that's not supposed to come on.
Yeah, don't touch stuff.
Oh, that up there.
Oh.
I thought you look in there for something to print, you know.
There are many rules, though. We Harvey girls live together, we have curfew. And we must promise not to marry while we work here. A lot of women come out here looking for someone to marry. It's a fine area for the investigate. The richest man in town started out in a soft hut with a canvas roof. And then there's Mr. Harvey. I've actually met him once. Really?
Some information on branding the cattle. I do apologize for the lights above.
It gives us a hope. Maybe I could do that one day. Own my own shop. I had two up to date, and I could bring my mama and papa out here with me. A year is a long time to be. That's a 317 for Thursday. I have to go.
So there's some brands there, branding irons. So that was to identify the cow as yours in case somebody stole it.
Wow, impressive.
I bet the cow liked that. They had to heat those things up
Yeah, stick them in the fire.
and that had to hurt for a while, you know. I know they did what they had to do with their property, but I got a soft heart when it comes to animals. I just ate one, but I mean, you know. As far as just the way they're treated, you know, when they're alive.
Humane, they should always be treated.
I agree. Let me get you some of these dresses here. Next time you and me have a date now, I don't want you to have your pair of shoes like that. And then I want you to have one of them dresses.
Which one?
Surprise me. Well, here's the lawmen and outlaws. So, Bat Masterson, I do believe, was the sheriff here. Is that correct? I can't read it.
Right.
And Wyatt Earp obviously was a U.S. Marshal. Luke Shore was an outlaw, I'm pretty sure. Gambler and gunfighter, I think I can see that. Bill Tillman, I think he was an outlaw. Am I correct? No, it says lawman, okay.
I think these are lawmen, aren't they?
No. Luke Shore was a gambler.
Oh.
I brought my glasses in. That's what you're supposed to guess, outlaw or lawman.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. About Wyatt Earp, one of the greatest Western movies that you'll ever watch. My favorite. Gunfight at OK Corral.
Yeah, we've watched that several times.
I have it at home. I need to watch it again. It's Burt Lancaster playing Wyatt Earp and Douglas. What can't think of it? Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, I think so.
Kirk Douglas. Michael Douglas was his son. Kirk Douglas played Doc Holliday. Great movie. We've been to the OK Corral in Tombstone. I'm not sure if the movie actually presents it the way it really happened, but. So obviously a saloon.
Looks like some painful dancing.
Look at all that snow. Blizzard of 1886.
Oh, wow. I guess they had to dig the tracks out.
December's warm shirt sleeve weather. Basically, it was warm, and then so that woman that was just on the film, apparently Wyatt and Bat Masterson were in the posse that apparently she was murdered.
He helped me get me started. It's always treated me right, protected me. He actually threw a fellow out of
Playing cards. Terrible gambler. Terrible gambler. Loses things. I mean, just loses all the time. Loses his money. I don't know how many times he's lost his farm, bought back. So he was playing and had bet everything he had, including the clothes on his back. And he lost. All of it. Including the clothes on his back. So he's standing in the saloon, you know, without his clothes anymore. So he heard, I'm getting ready to arrest him for indecent exposure, of course. Running around naked is inappropriate. But he grabbed that brown paper that they wrap, you know, things with when you buy it, and he fashioned himself a shirt. I wish he'd have started with his pants, but then he fashioned himself brown paper pants, and then a brown paper vest, brown paper shaft, and even a brown paper hat. And then I arrested him. What'd you arrest him for? Rustling. Sometimes it takes a second to get there. That's one of those, yeah. Traveling jokes. You'll think about it later when you travel road. So anyway, there was, you see that cowboy earlier with his dog?
Yeah, no, strangest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Stand out here, we have cowboys in town all the time. And lots of cowboys have dogs, you know, help herd the cattle. Most of them have, you know, shepherd dogs of some kind, Australian shepherds or German shepherds or border collies, things like that. This cowboy had a wiener dog.
A dachshund.
A wiener dog. You know, little hot dog. And I said, you know, cowboy, I've seen a lot of cowboys and a lot of cow dogs, but I've never seen a cowboy with a wiener dog. Of all the dogs you could have picked, why'd you pick a wiener dog? And he said, well, I'm pretty new to this cowboy business, and when I first got started, somebody told me to get along, little doggy.
Some smiled but didn't laugh.
Not to have a shot of this stuff. We know they're not smart.
Yeah.
Heard about anybody coming into town tonight that you know of? Any herds coming in or anything?
No, I haven't heard anything about anyone coming in. I think we got an early evening.
Hope so.
Museum. What you are about to see is a gunfight between rough and rowdy Texas cowboys and Dodge City lawmen sworn to keep the peace in town. The firearms used in the gunfights are real and loaded with blanks, but can still be dangerous. So we must ask that you remain in the designated viewing area during the entire performance for your own safety. Now, return with us to the thrilling days of the Old West as we present the world-famous Budio gunfighters in Conflict on Front Street. Dodge City is the queen of the Cowtowns. Every summer, thousands of longhorns are driven to the railhead by hundreds of cowboys. Most of these cowboys are young, hard-working men working an honest but tough profession. There are, however, others that don't want to work so hard. Some that prey on these hard-working men and their herds. Cattle rustlers. There have been a wave of stolen cattle in the area recently. Local law enforcement have been working hard, even hiring a top-notch brand inspector to bring these cattle thieves to justice.
something? You did.
Well, what's wrong? What did they do?
Carrying and discharging your firearms in Dodge City is against the law.
Now, I took care of it. He's an idiot. Sorry. We picked him up about halfway up, so I took care of it. But as far as carrying our guns, we carry them everywhere.
Right. Well, yeah, no, you can't carry them in Dodge City anymore. You see, we're getting tired of you cowboys coming up here getting drunk and shooting holes in everything.
That wasn't us. We didn't know that.
Well, yeah, but you're not drunk yet.
Well,
So, it's against the law to carry your guns in Dodge City. That's the law. Violators will be charged a $100 fine and a night in jail.
$100?
You heard me, I didn't stutter.
We ain't got that kind of cash. We sell our herd in the morning.
Right? And I assume you haven't been up here since last year?
No, not about this time last year.
Well, the law's been on the books for a while, but we're enforcing it now since Ed Matchington got shot in April.
Oh, well. Sorry to hear that.
If you want to spend any amount of time in town, you'll surrender your firearm. If you do not, I will take them from you, fine you, and put you in jail.
What if we run into any varmints?
There aren't any varmints in town, don't worry.
We take care of them.
We ran into a lot of varmints on the trail.
Yeah, well, welcome to Dodge. We cleaned up all the varmints. Place your guns on the well behind me. Great big knives can go on there too.
Somebody gonna watch them?
My deputy and I haul them to the office and give them back to you when you're ready to leave town.
All right. Well, I guess that's our only option.
That would be your only option.
Let's do what he says, okay?
Huh? Come on. Go place your firearms on the well.
What? Why?
Girls don't want to dance with you with a gun anyway.
I think he wants to dance with me anyway.
Plus, I hate for you to hurt yourself.
That's what you get for getting in trouble. Now get over here. What? Well, when we all went inside to get a drink, dance with a nice lady, and Marshall gave me some news. Good. They hired a brand inspector because they've been having problems with cattle rustling. Good for them. No, because they're going to check every cattle we brought up here. And we can't have them check our paper in our branch.
Why not?
Because we stole them. All but like 12. 2 of them we ate, so what? 12 minus the 1,500 we ended up with. We can leave. All right, take out our guns. So the cattle rustlers are looking for them. Who do you think they are? Yeah, we weren't going to give them back their cows. So, we need our guns.
Got it.
So I'm thinking, since you got us into this whole mess in the first place, you see that tall, scrawny deputy over there? Why don't you go distract him and we get our guns?
Not doing that.
Yeah, you are.
No!
No. Or I can get the marshal, you to the marshal, and you can go spend the night in jail. Go distract him, and we'll get our guns. And then y'all remember what we did in Abilene last year back? Marshal, us and us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, do that, we'll get our guns, and then
Well, I'll explain from there.
Hey, mister. Hey. I gotta get my gun back.
Oh, didn't I see you drinking right there?
Yeah. Come on, Sonny, I'm gonna leave.
We're gonna hold on to him.
No, you're driving on the way. I gotta get my gun back.
And Marshall said I'm watching and you're not getting him back until he says so.
Well, he's getting his.
Oh!
Let it go right here. Yeah. Okay.
come on.
Where we go?
Put this in here.
Green one?
Say,
I missed it. They just shot the deputy.
Marshall!
What happened, Slim?
They shot me. They kicked me low.
Why didn't you shoot them first?
I'll tell them not to get the gun.
Come on, Marshall.
Trick me.
Come on.
Guns, boys.
Now, how does you turn around and look behind you, Earl? See, we got some drop on you now, Marshall.
Let me guess. Well, your cattle are stolen, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
Most of them, yeah. So,
Last chance. Put your guns in the dirt.
now what's going to happen is if when your gun's in there, we're going to get out of here and go sell our cattle and you'll never see us again.
Yeah. Put your guns down, or I promise you, this isn't gonna end well for you.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Now, let's put the
Come out of there.
Hands up. Throw your gun out.
I'm out. I'm out bullets, Marshall.
Me too. I'm not talking about it.
I'm coming.
I need 5 grand dug up on Boot Hill and you folks know how to run a shovel. You get ready for me, I'll buy you a chug of whiskey.
Whiskey?
You're not, you're dead.
I heard whiskey!
Well, you're dead. Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous football player.
We're going to look at Boot Hill. Now, we've been to the Boot Hill and Tombstone, and there actually are real graves there, I think. But at the Boot Hill and Tombstone, they actually have the Clantons buried there, who were cattle rustlers that actually led up to the gunfight at OK Corral. The highest point in Dodge City and the original location of the Boot Hill Cemetery. It only existed as a burial ground for about 6 years. Okay. This was a jail built in 1865.
Be kind of a miserable way to spend your days.
Yes, that certainly would. Wow. Okay, some more boot heel up here. Cowboy Capitol Exhibit Building. I don't remember this.
It's air conditioning.
Well, then that's my kind of building.
Good smoke stick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Marshall Dillon, Doc Adams, Festus. By the way, he could sing in real life now. Ken Curtis, look him up on YouTube, him singing Tumbling Tumbleweed. He didn't sound nothing like he did on the show. And of course, James Ernest and Amanda Blake. Also, this is, I guess, their script. I used to have a long talk like that. Hadn't thought about that in years. Look at that old television. That's a sharp looking guitar there.
I know.
And looks like more boot heel right here. Let's walk up here, see the sign. So this is the last person that was buried here. So 500 froze to death. They're buried there. I don't even want to know. They called it Boot Hill because they were often buried with their boots on. So that little monument there kind of depicts that. Walk down Front Street here and Long Branch Saloon. Obviously that was on Gunsmoke.
You actually go in there?
Yeah, I guess you can. So, You know, Long Branch was famous. That was the hangout on Gunsmoke, where they would all go after work. Tonsorial parlor. There's a light on in there too. I don't know if you can go in there. Some of these doors, I don't know if you can go in or not. And that was locked. So here's the newspaper. Front Street Times. Interesting information here about infant mortality and child mortality. Interesting.
Get my picture.
Where are these? No, that was mine. That was yours.
The printing room for the Front Street Times. A lot of work went into that. Here's the local drugstore. Legendary Lawman. Pretty much the same ones that were in the museum. Okay, so here is still a working restaurant, Beatty and Kelly, and an old-fashioned ice cream parlor. You want an ice cream?
They're closed.
They're closed. Oh well. Folks, here in Dodge City is the first YouTube vlogging camera.
So they would sit there and do their live streams.
Yeah, they'd sit right there and do the live streams, and
They had their lights to make sure, it was right and check the background.
I can just picture you standing there holding that thing out, folks. What good evening from,
Yeah.
Yeah. Honorary marshals. Is that, I don't know if it's even open or not. Okay. Well, I'm just going to do a quick scan of the wall to let you know how many there are. It's getting late, and I think we're just about zapped of all our energy. Well, look at here. Got Bob Dole. He's from Kansas, Russell, Kansas. And his wife is from what state? Elizabeth, North Carolina.
Oh.
Of course, Mr. Paul Harvey. Reggie, now I did not know Reggie Jackson was from Kansas. I still question that. He's on the wall of honorary marshals. Didn't know that can't be right. Dean Smith, really. Head coach of the University of North. Well, yeah, born in Emporia, Kansas. Wow. He was head coach of North Carolina, you know, that team. I try not to say that. But he was a good coach. Dennis Weaver. Now, Richard Petty lives in Randleman, North Carolina. Your dad used to live in Randleman. We have completed our walk of Front Street here on Dodge City, in Dodge City, Kansas. That probably took us, I remember it taking about an hour, but they've added a lot. I would say allow yourself 2 hours to see it.
Yeah, especially have the gunfight. I don't know how often they do that.
Yeah, not sure about the schedule. We weren't really expecting to see that. But you need to use it?
Right.
Okay.
It's like a double seater.
Here's the Front Street Union Church, and you can actually get married there. So there's going to be a wedding. Actually, there was a wedding May the 4th this year. So congratulations to Ralph and that looks like Gretchen. All right, so let's pan back down Front Street one more time. All right, folks. We hope you enjoyed this tour of Front Street in Dodge City, and we enjoyed bringing it to you. I did have to go quickly in a lot of areas because there's a lot of reading. Those of you that love history, you're going to like that. It tells you about the Old West. I love reading about the Old West. So there was a lot of famous names that were associated with Dodge City: Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, Doc Holliday, people like that. So we wanted, that's one of the reasons we flew into Wichita instead of flying into the other airport of where we're actually going. We just wanted to come back to Dodge City. We were here in 2006 and felt like our time was limited then, so we wanted to get here early today, do Front Street, have a good steak, review the motel, and then tomorrow morning on to our next adventure. So I'm excited and I'm worn out. So
Same.
it's a little after 7. We're going to go back to our motel, which is the Dodge House. So that was actually mentioned also on the Gunsmoke, was the Dodge House. So there's a motel in town named that. That's where we're staying. So if you like this video, like and subscribe.
And find and follow us on Facebook.
And have a wonderful and blessed day.